So this is the task we have at hand. So we're provided with a sales and profit data set, right, for Meta stationery store. This is just a name we give it so that we know that we are working for a client, right? And then we're told to research into the following insights. So we did from the data set that was shared to every one of us, we're expected to get insight into the total sales throughout the transaction period. So we want to know the total sales, we want to know the total profit generated, then we also want to know the profit made by year, right? We want to know the profit made by year. Then we want to understand the sales by category. Sales by category, the number of customers that did business, with us in each year. We want to know also, right? We want to know the number of customers that did business with us in each year. At the same time, we want to know the total sales made in each state, right? That's talking about the region. The total sales made in each state. We want to know the top 5 customers' profits and the sales per month. These are the insights I want to get. And all of these, we also want to design an interactive dashboard and present, the report on that dashboard, right? So this is a task. Um, this is a task we have at hand. All right. Now, without wasting the time, we'll go straight into it, right? We'll go straight into it and try to see what we can bring out of it. So once again, this is the data set, right? This data set, we have the order date, we have the customer's name, we have the states, right? And this is the category of the product that was sold. The product has category, it has subcategory, and this is that's the actual product. So we have the sales, and then we have the quantity sold, we have the profit, right? And of course, what this means is that um 2 units of, you can say this quantity, two units of this message book wire bound, wire bound, 4, 5 half. I mean, this dimension of this book was sold. 2 units of it was sold at $16.45, right? Because the locations here are in US, so we know that this is dollars. So they are sold. 2 units was sold at this amount, right? And we had a profit of $6 in that, right? So we know the quantity, the number of quantity that was sold. We know the sales, how much we sold it, and then so if we know the profit we have made out of it, right? If at any point there is a need to discuss about the cost of that product, I'm sure we know how to do that because we have the sales, we have the quantity sold, we have the profit, particularly the profit and sales. And you know that cost, usually profit is always equal to the sales minus cost, right? That's what gives us the profit. So which means that cost will be if profit equals to sales minus cost, right? If profit equals to sales minus cost equals to profit, then profit will be equals to cost will be equals to profit minus sales. Is that also sales minus profit rather? So if there is a need to talk about cost, then we'll use that formula, right? But obviously, for these reasons, for this insight that we are delving into, that will not be needed. But then we have some other project to handle that we need to tailor our understanding in that direction. So the first thing we do is to take it to the pivot table, and all of that we know already how to bring in the pivot table, right? So I'm going straight to the pivot table, and I'm creating, it on a new worksheet, right? right? So I have my pivot table in it, right? And one of the things I always want us to do is to get insights, is to begin to analyze it. We said the pivot table is used to analyze, summarize, visualize, and interpret our data sets. Right. Um, the first question requires that we determine the total sales, right? And this is very quick from our understanding of pivot table. So I'll just check um sales, right? Once I check it, and because the data type is because the data type is in uh the data type is in number, right? It will come to value straight away, and I can see the sum of sales, which is going to be the total sum of sales, right? As needed, right? And I have it here. This is the total sum of sales. I can quickly format it, right, and have it be presented as you know as money, right? At the same time, I can I can have my
Hello, sir.
I can in it. Yes, sir.
Sorry to cut you. I don't know. Please, can you repeat it again from the pivot table, please?
Yes. All right. Thank you. I
Thank you,
will
sir.
do that. Yes, sir. So let's delete this and do that again. All right. So I return to the data set, right? So like we said, we take the data set straight to the pivot table. And to access the pivot table, you ensure that you select at least one cell, right, within the data set, right? And when that is done, you go to the insert tab, and then you see the pivot table under the table group. This is a pivot table. Select it. A dialog box will come out, and you will see that the data set has been selected, right? You can see it on the screen that it has been selected. I also always advise that we take it to the new worksheet, which is already on new worksheet, and we say okay, and pivot table had been generated in it, right? So the first question says that determine the total sales, right? And then we have explained all of this before, so we'll just go straight to the sales, check it, right? Check it, and because the data type of that column is in number, the data format is number, right? It will by itself, once you check it, it will come under value, right? Values will receive columns that have data type that you can do basic arithmetic on them, right? So that's why I have it under here. So this is my total sales, right? So I'm going to format it, make it look like money. I mean, in the right order of money, millions, hundred, tens, and all of that, and the cover side, right? And at the same time, I'm going to put in my currency, right? You can see that the data type is accounting already. So if I do Control 1, it will bring the format cell, dialog box. Then I can go there, come straight here, right? To select the symbol that I want to use for it, right? It should be United States dollar, right? So I'm going to look for United States dollar, right? Ah, here's it. So I'll select it and say okay, right? So that is as simple as that, right? So this is the total sales. Very quickly, I've seen the total sales. Instead of me coming to the data set here and doing doing some function, right? The pivot table has done that for me quickly. So the next thing is to get to the next question, which is talking about the total profits, right? And I'm just going to create the pivot table again. You know how the process is. We'll create another pivot table by copying the existing one and pasting it on a fresh space on a fresh cell, right? And I'll go there to uncheck the sales that is there before because I'm done with sales, right? Then now I need to discuss about the profit. So I'll check the profit, right? And once I do that, you can see I now have the total profit as well, which is well formatted. And then from here, I am good to go, right? So the question was to treat the total sales throughout the transaction period, which we have done, total profit generated, right? Which we have done also. Then the third thing here is to determine the profit made per year. The profit made per year, right? And then let's quickly see how to do that. Usually, I'm going to create another pivot table because that's going to be on a new pivot table, right? And I'll bring it in here. So I have a new pivot table, right? All right. So I'm going to uncheck sales because this time around I'm not talking about the sales again, right? So to determine the profit by year, right? I need the year itself, right? And the year would be under the date, right? On the pivot table field list, you will see that because of the because the order date is in date format, right? So it has splitted it into day, month, and year. So it is well splitted here. So I can just come straight to pick the year, which is what I need, right? So I'm just going to check the year, and I have the year right here with me. And what I want to know is the profit made by year. So I'll just check the profit as well, and that goes to that point, and I have it here, right? Without any stress. So this is my profit by year, right? Very direct, very direct. All right. So I can see now that in 2021, we made $49,000 plus 2022. In fact, I can also see the year to which we make the highest profits, right? And of course, from this insight, we can begin to ask some questions and be able to and get into what we want to fish out, right? But then the interest is to go straight away to designing a dashboard, right? So let's see the third. I mean, we are done with the third question. Let's see the fourth question: sales by the subcategory, right? We want to know the sales by the subcategory, right? And to do this, right, I would need let's create our pivot table, another pivot table, and paste on the new space, right? All right. So this time around, I will uncheck the date and profit that I have initially. All right. And because I need to analyze the sales by subcategory. Sales by subcategory. So I would need to select the sales, right? And then the subcategory, as the case may be. I'll need to select the sales and the subcategory. Here's the sales, or let's do the subcategory first, right? I have my subcategory, and I have the list of it right here, right? And then with the sales. All right. So I have my sales by subcategory in here. So this is my sales by subcategory, right? I think that's all. There's nothing to now there's something that is common to all of this that we have not corrected. You can see that it is showing real label instead of it showing us the year in this case. And row label, instead of it showing us the subcategory in here. So we can quickly fix that. And then we come to design, come to report layout, and select show in tabular form. Same thing here, layout, and then I'll show in tabular form. Then I have that, right? So for the other one, I have something I'm still gonna do with this particular one, right? Maybe when we get to the pivot table, I'm gonna do it. But because I know that I have something to do, I'm gonna leave this space here so that it doesn't disturb what we've got to do later, right? Meanwhile, we are done for now. Let's assume that we are done with, getting the sales by subcategory, because these are the subcategory. Accessories, I made these sales. Appliances, we made these sales. Arts subcategory, we made these sales, and all of that. And everything still boiled down to our total sales, which correspond with what I have here. You know what I said my total sales is at this on this pivot table here, right? So to go to the next one, I'm going to select this pivot table. I'm going to copy it. So don't forget I said I want to leave it some space because I know that I will do something later, right? So permit me to leave that space. I leave this space and I'm going to put this here, right? And I have Control V, right? And this time around, I'm going to uncheck this as well as uncheck this. And this time around, we need to determine what now? We need to determine the number of customers that did business with us per year. The number of customers that did business with us per year. So in 2021, already we've seen how many years this data set cover, right? We've seen that the data set covers for 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024, 4 years. Now we want to know how many customers transacted, did business with us in 2021. How many customers did business with us in 2022? How many customers did business with us in 2023 and all of that, right? So usually what we need, right, to answer this, what we need to answer this would be, the question is talking about customer count by year. Yes, customer count by year. So we need the year, which should be this, right? We need the year, which should be this, and we need the customer count, customer name, right? This is also fine. Now, what we want to do is not to see the name of the customer. We want to count the customer, right? We are supposed to count the customer. Actually, we are supposed to be able to access count here. If I come to this customer name, because I'm not interested in seeing the name, I only want to count it. So all this name, Aaron Bagan and all of that, right? It is supposed to count them for me, right? Instead of listing them. So ideally, if I come here, all right, so I was saying that ideally, we should be able to come to this option and select the count, right? But unfortunately, the count is not active, right? The count is not active, which means that we can't use this particular one. So instead of that, don't forget, what we need is the count of the customer name, not the name of the customer. So what I will do is to move it from here, right? Move the customer name from here and bring it under value. If I do that, then it will not list the name of the customer for me again. It will only count it. And that's the same thing that I'm going to do, right? So I'll just move it from here straight and put it under value, right? Right, under value. And you can see that I have it here. But there is an issue, right? There is an issue which is going to make me not to use this method. And what is that issue? Now, this name that I have here, it means that in 2021, 1,992. So look at it, it's giving me in dollars, right? It's not supposed to be in dollar, right? That's the first issue, because we are not doing money. We are counting customer, we are counting people. Then the other thing is that I have, in 2021, I have 1,992 customers, right? What that is showing us is that if you come back to the data set, let's return to the data set. I hope we can hear me because this area I'm explaining seems to be very important, right? So if I return to the data set, we'll see that if you look at this area, look at this particular customer, the name is Maria Etizadi, right?
Yes,
The
sir.
person is in Kentucky. Yes, sir. Now you see that this name appear here, this name appear here, this name appear here. That's about 5 times. And it's still
Yes.
going to appear in more places down the column. So when we say we want to count the customer, we cannot count this same person 5, 6, 10 times. You understand? So that's not a good count. And it has actually done that. And that is why we have it just did that, right? That's why we have this number here. So we need to make sure that that duplicate is not repeated. So for that reason, right, it is not fine for me. It's not going to be accurate for me to just come and pick my count of customer directly from this data set, from this data set that we have here. Instead, I will find a way to clean this data set, to clean it again. We have cleaned before, right? Or you would have cleaned before bringing it to the pivot table. But now, even at this point that we have, for the particular purpose that I need this analysis for, I still need to clean further. And that cleaning is to remove all these duplicates that we have here. So because of that, right, I cannot use this particular pivot table as it is. So I'm going to cancel it. I'm going to cancel it because I can't use this pivot table. So what will I do? I will come back to this data set, and this area, these are the two information that I need. The information that I need are the customer name and the year, right? I need this customer name and the year. But I do not really have year, the column year. What I have is the order date, which has so many things in it. The order days has the quarter, the other days, the other days have the days, the other days have the month, and the other days have the year. So I need only the year. So I'll be smart enough to first of all, draw out the years from the information that I have. So I'm going to use a function, right, called the text function. You understand? Or the year function. I'm going to use a function called the year function to call out only the year from this date. And how does that work? I'm just going to say equals to and put that year, right? So you can see there is a function called year function. And then the argument is asking me what is the serial number. So the serial number is just the date. I mean, the date, the complete order date. So I'll select it and say enter, right? And you can see that it has removed the year, from that date and list out the year for me in this place. So if I do it down, so I will have it for every other, rows, which is fine. So I will select this, it is selected already, right? So I'll select this and then select it with this one also. You can see I've selected both of them. I use Control Select, right, to select only the two columns that I need. So I will copy it. And I will bring it straight to this area where I need it. So I'll bring it straight to this area and I'll say Ctrl V to paste it. You understand? Don't forget, the reason I am doing all of this is because I want to remove duplicates. All these names that are appearing again, I want to remove them. So, and that's what I will do. I'll just go straight to do that. So there is a function on Excel that is called remove duplicate. Not a function, rather. There is a button on Excel on these tabs that is called remove duplicate. So I'll go and pick the button after I have selected the rows, the columns that I want to remove. I want to, remove duplicates on, right? So I'll go to, that button is under the data tab, right? Under data tab, you will see this data tool, this same area where we have text to column and all of that, right? Look at this particular one that is here, right? This one that has X, like cancel. That button is called remove duplicate. You can see that as I place my mouse, the icon of my mouse, as I hover it on it, yes, it's showing me the name. So that's remove duplicate. So I'm just going to click it to remove duplicate. So I've done that. It brings a dialog box to tell me that, okay, on which of the two columns selected do I want to remove duplicate? And of course, it's on the two of them, right? So I'll just say, okay, right? And it's telling me now that 5,995 duplicate values were found and removed. You understand? So all those names that repeat themselves, those duplicates that we have on there, they sum up to 5,995, and it has taken them away. Now the unique value that I have now is now 2319, right? And I'm going to say okay, and that is fine. So you can see that the Maria Etizadi now is now one name. It's not repeating itself 6-7 times like we had the other time, right? Now the other way we can do that, right? I'm just going to do that here. I'll cancel this data, right? Just to show us that we can also use function to do that, right? And the other way to do that is to use what called the unique function. I think I've showed us before in one of the classes, right? I'll just put in unique, right? Unique function. I'll call out the argument, and it will ask me what is the array, right? And it is I'll go to the data set and then select this particular one, right? And I'll say enter. You can see. So, sorry, let's do that again. I'm going to say unique, call the argument out, unique, yes, this, right? Go to where the data set is. What's the array? I'll select all of them. This, I'll use Ctrl Shift down arrow to do it downward, right? I've selected all of them, and I'll say enter, right? So it has listed them. It has listed them. So it has listed them, right? But then this particular one is not taking into consideration the year, because I also need the year. That's why I didn't use this, right? But then just know that we use the unique function also to remove duplicate. This, I just need to show us that unique function. Now, I haven't done this. I have removed duplicate on this, right? I have removed the duplicate on this. So I will now create a new pivot table using only this table that is there. You know, this looks like a new table here, right? So I will use this. I'll select any area on it. I'll go and pick my pivot table, right? Now it's asking me. This, of course, this is a table that I'm going to use. This is a data set that I want to take to the pivot table, right? So it's asking me, where do I want to put it? This particular one, I don't want to put it on the new sheet because I still want to maintain this same new sheet. So I'll say on the existing worksheet. And it's asking me, what is now the location? I'll select this location, right? It should put it here for me, right? And I'll say, okay, create it. So you can see now, I have a new pivot table. So this particular pivot table is not like these other ones. It is just reflecting on this table that has customer name and year only. And you can see that the pivot table field list that it only consists of the customer and year. So here now I can check the year, right? The year is coming to undervalue because it's seeing it as number, but it's not a number. So I'll bring it to the row. Can you see now? And it has listed it for me, right? And then again, I will check the customer name, right? Or I just pick it directly and bring it here. So I want it to be under value. So I'll take it to the value straight away. And you can see now it has done what it needs to do. So this is a unique value now. This is the duplicate had been removed. So what this means is that we have 595 customers who did business with us in 2021. We have 573 customers who did business with us in 2022. We have 638 customers who did business with us in 2023. And we have 513 customers who did business with us in 2023, right? So this is how to get that. Obviously, I'll do this to remove the row label, and have our year shown in it, right? I hope you understand this particular area, right? Of course, if we were to begin to question some activity from this analysis that we are showing, we'll begin to delve into understanding what are the efforts that made us to have more customers, right? Between 2021 and 2023, you can see we have more customers. So what are the efforts? All right, Mr. Godwin, sir, I've been able to install the SQL on my old system. Oh, that's fine. So when we're done with this, we'll get back to the SQL, right? I just want to do the project for us, and then let's keep it somewhere because we'll need it later. Thank you very much, Mr. Godwin. All right, so I was saying that if you want to pay more attention to this analysis, right? If you want to pay more attention to this analysis, we would begin to find out what are the efforts that we put into work that made our customer increase from 595 that it was in 2021 to 638 that we are now. And if you see that in 2024, some customers have left off. So some of the customers that we even have, they left us and we reduced to 513. And that's going to bring out some other questions, right? So this is how the pivot table is making us to delve into the occurrences in the business. Don't forget that this kind of analysis we are doing now is explained as diagnostic analysis. You understand? We are trying to diagnose into the business. Why did we have reduced customer count within a year? And this reduction is even more than 100 and it's more than 120, right? And that's big. Within 1 year, 120 customers left us. You understand? So it's worth paying attention to. But then our interest now is just to analyze what they have told us to analyze, and then we are good with that, right? So this is the number fourth question, I guess, right? Now the next one is to determine what's the sales by state, right? The sales by state. So you understand that this time around I do not need this pivot table again. I only needed this pivot table for this single analysis. So for the other one, I'll copy from this other pivot table, maybe from there, or let me just copy from here. Of course, I can copy from anywhere and say copy and come straight in here and paste it to let me paste it here, right? Control V, right? And then of course I won't check. I'm here, right? I won't check. What are we looking for? Sales by state, right? So I don't need to uncheck sales. I will just check state, right? So this is my sales by state, right? Sales by state. All right. This is my sales by state. Now, for okay, let me quickly take us through this, which is the same reason why I left this particular okay, let me not do that now. Let's continue. We have just done that, so let's leave more space. We'll talk about it by the time we get to drawing the dashboard, right? You will see the reason why I was leaving this space, and it's very important. We also need to understand those reasons. The next question is saying, who are our top 5 customers profit? Okay, what is the top 5 customers profit, right? And then I'm going to copy this, right? Let me copy it from here. Copy, and then I've copied it, and I'm coming here to paste it, right? Please permit me to leave 2 other space here for a reason I will show us later, and then I'll paste this here, right? And then we intend to know the top 5 profits, the customers that give us our top 5 profits. So what we actually need would be we don't need sales, we need customer, right? We need customer, we need profit actually. Of course, we need customer, and then we need profit. Yes, we need profit. So we want to get the customer that give us the top 5 profits. right? So this guy gives us this guy gives us this guy gives us this, right? But then we need the one that gives us the top 5 profits. So I can I can right click here and sort it, right? Because I want to see the top 5. So I want to see the from the top. So I can just come here and say from largest to smallest, right? Now I've seen from largest to smallest. So this guy, Tamara Chand, earn us the highest profits, followed by Raymond Butch. But then the analysis is requested for only the top 5. This has listed all the customers for all of them. You can see how long it is, right? This is for all the customers, all of them. But I only need the top 5. And to access the top 5, I'll come to, let me change this again to uh, show in tabular form so that I can see the customer's name. And the same thing here, show in tabular form. All right. So now to get the top 5, I'll come to this customer name. Can you see this sort button, right? I'll click it and you will see label filter and value filter, right? So I can come straight to value filter. I want to filter the value to give me only the top 5, right? So I'll come to value filter and pick top 10, right? So the top 10, I'm going to reduce it to 5 because I want to do the top 5 and say okay. And now I have the top 5, profits. So this is what the analysis wants us to show, not all of them, right? So and that we have actually done that. We have done that particular analysis. And the next thing, which seems to be the last one, is to determine the sales by month, right? The sales by month. So the sales by month wouldn't give us so much stress. I'll just copy again, which is our usual custom, and I'll come back to paste here, right? All right. Now I will uncheck customer. I will uncheck profit. I will check months because I'm going to be talking about months here, right? And I will check order sales by month. So I'll check sales. I'll check sales, right? So this is the sales by month. So in January's we have this, in February's we have that, and all of that. This is sales by month. All right. So you can see that in those 4 years, right? In those 4 years, March is March is a month that gives us the best sales, right? And then as a business owner, it means that we want to know why. What are the things that are peculiar about March? What are the activities in March? You understand? Are there special festive period in March that support our business and all of that makes people buy more? You understand? So there are so many things into it that we'll begin to analyze and brainstorm together, right? But then we want to judge that. We just want to restrict our activities to what the question wants us to treat. All right. So this is all the insight that the question wants us to get, right? And then the next thing on the question is to now design the dashboard, right? And that's what we are going to do. So here I can come here to rename this and call it maybe summary. I can call this summary, right? Or I call it pivot table because that's the pivot table. So I can also call it pivot table, anything you want to call it. So now I want to present this analysis in a dashboard. So I'll go straight to design my dashboard, right? Now in designing dashboard, let me create that column and call this, let me bring this here. We call this our data, our summary, and here's going to be for our dashboard, right? Let me rename it and call it dashboard. All right, that's the dashboard. The name already exists. Okay. Let's call it report. Right. Yeah. So I've called it report. And then now we are going to make a report on this screen. Like I explained to us, we'll make the screen the fit for that report. So I'll come to view I will check grid lines, like I explained to us. I will check the headings, right? And I can even uncheck the formula bar, right? At least for now, right? And then I have a screen where I can begin to design my dashboard. Now, usually when designing dashboard, I always recommend, this is my own recommendation, it's not a standard, but it's my recommendation that I explained it also in the last class, that we draw it somewhere in a jotter, in our jotter, how we want our dashboard to look like. And for this task that I gave to us, I'm going to share what I have done, right? How I want my dashboard to look like. I'll share it to WhatsApp now. I took a screenshot of it. I mean, I snapped it, and I'm going to share it with us, right? Let me quickly do that so that we can see it. I'll share it on the chat. Okay. Okay. All right. So I think I've not taken this. Let me quickly take the. Let me snap it and share with us. Let me snap it and share with us. There is no light, but I think I hope it comes out brighter. Bear with me. Okay, let's just manage this. I've shared something to our WhatsApp. All right. All right. So if you look at what I shared to that WhatsApp, right, you will see that I have drawn out how I want the dashboard to look like. Right. I always recommend that we have that prototype, something like a blueprint, right? In a jotter, you sketch out what charts, the kind of chart you will use, where your headings will be, where the logo will be, all of that. And from what I have designed for myself, I'm going to create how I want the dashboard to look like, right? And in just one class, I will also explain why I am choosing the visuals, the charts that I'll be using. I'll also explain why I'm choosing them, right, in this class, so that we use one stone to kill multiple birds, right? So, um, so I'm going to um, draw my background, and to do that, I'll come to this illustration, insert tab, illustration, and I'll pick the shape that I want to use. I want to use this rectangle, and I'm going to draw it from here, right? That's how I want it to be, right? I'll give you the color that I want to use. So once I draw the rectangle, it will bring the shape format for me, so that I will be able to format that shape. So I'll choose a color that I want to use. I want to use this color. Okay. I think I would be good with this color. Okay. So this is the color I've chosen. To is to put in the logo and create spaces for all the shapes that I will import into it. And I'll be doing that right away. Also, before I leave this, I will remove the outlines. I don't want the outlines to be there, right? The outlines should be gone. As it gone, I remove the outline. Then I have to give it a shadow. Yes, I want to give it a shadow. Uh, okay. I'll use this shadow. All right, if I want it to be, then I'm done with that. So I'm going to design it, draw how I want it to be like, right? Um, so I want my logo to be somewhere around here. So I'm keeping this place for logo. Sorry, I'm going to delete this. That's not the shape I want to use. I want to use this round, this rectangle, not this. I want to use this. So I'll pick this and I will, right? I want my logo to be here. Yes, I want my logo to be here. I think I'm okay like this. Right? And then I'll format it. I'll format it. I want to use this color. And then also I want to give it a gradient. I want to give it a gradient. No, 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 no. All right. I want to give it a gradient. All right. All right. So I'm good with this. All right. So I can also give it a shadow. I don't want the outline. I don't want the outline. And I'll give it shadow. I want a shadow, right? Just to give it a kind of a professional touch. What shadow should I use? Right. I'll use this. So I'm drawing according to what I have, right, in my blueprint, right? So it would help me to manage my time appropriately and not, not dabble around the screen. I already know what I want to do, right? And then that's for that. This is for my logo. This is going to be for my heading, right? I'll have my heading here. So duplicate another, and here I want to put some slicer in this place. I want to put some slicer here, and it's going to be like this, right? So that is that, and then another. So I want to put my card visuals here. Okay. Somebody was saying that he's unable to use card visual, right? I'll show us how to do card visual in Excel, right? Card visual is not in Excel as a chart, but then we can work around it. Right? I want to have two card visuals. So I have the second one here. Second one here. Right? So I want to leave this for sales by category, and then I want to use the chart that I want to use is a funnel chart, right? Something like a sales funnel, because it's talking about sales, right? I want to use this funnel, right? So this is how I want it to look like. All right, and then I have another one here. Right here, I want this place to house customer count per year, and I want to put my donut chart here. So customer count per year. So I want it to be like this. I've drawn it already. I've drawn it already in my on the blueprint. I know how I want it to be like. So I'm just going to leave it this way, right? I have another chart for profit by year. and I intend to use the column chart. Profit by year, right? Profit by year. I intend to use a column chart for the profit by year. All right. I also have sales by state. Sales by state. Right. Sales by state duplicates. And I want to put the sales by state here, somewhere here. I think I will reduce this. Yeah, sales by state here. I intend to use a map for this. I intend to use a map for this, right? Let me reduce it here, or better still, let me increase this. Yes, let me increase this and increase this. Yeah, so I have two more charts according to the question. Duplicate, no, undo. So duplicate, oh, all right. So I have this for my top 5 customer, and I want to use bar chart for this. So I'm going to make it stop like this, right? All right. So I want to drop this down so I can meet up also the background so that it also meet up. All right. And finally, sales by month, duplicate, right? I'll put the sales by month here, and then I'll be good to go, right? So this is how my charts will look, my dashboard will look like at the end of the day, right? So I can come here to reduce the size of this and make it stay here, right? All right, so I'm good. So this is how my dashboard will look like. Look at the area, even without coming to draw the chart, the dashboard, you already have a good view of what you're going to get at the end of the day. And that's why I always advise that we draw this placement before coming ahead to place it. So now I can then come here to begin to put in what I want to put in there, right? I'll look for a logo here, but that's not we can do that later. So every chart, every dashboard will have the heading, which I'm going to put in here. And to put the heading, I'm going to bring in my text box, right? Still under the shape. This is text box here, right? I'll bring it here and I will draw it somewhere here. This is going to be my text box. And in the text box, I'm going to call it sales, and profit. Okay, sales and profit analysis for, I think the question gives it a name, right? For Meta Stationery Store, right? For Meta Stationery Store, right? For Meta Stationery Store. And of course, I'm going to format it, right? Maybe I want to, what font should I use? I'll use Calibria. Yes, I love Calibria or Cambria. I'll use Cambria. Is camera here? Yes. So I'll use this. I will increase the font size so that it can be visible. Let's use this, right? And what that means is that we need to increase. We need to increase this. I hope this is not too big anyway. Okay, this looks too big for Meta. Okay, so let me reduce it. It looks too big. All right. Okay, let's do 20. All right, 20. And let's spread it. Let's spread it. Okay. So I think we should still reduce it. Let's see 18. All right, 18 looks good. All right. All right, so I can format it and make it transparent, right? And then after making it transparent, I'll remove the outline, change the color to white. Okay, I'll do that as well. But then, okay, I can come here and then work on the justification and bring it to the center, right? And then make the font color be white. All right, so I think I can do with this. Yeah, so I can leave it this as my heading, right? I'm done with that. If I need to do any other thing, I can come back to do it as a finishing touch. Now the next thing is to do the card visual. So the person who said that he's unable to get card visuals, yeah, should pay attention as well. So like I said, there is no particular um chart in Excel. In Power BI, there's card visual. You just pick it. But we are not in Power BI yet. So for Excel, there is no particular chart called card visual. So we are going to design it based on the understanding of Excel that we know. And how do we do that? Right? What we want to do, that card visual is supposed to be called total sales. So let's first of all name it. Let's name it. So I'll bring in my text box, right? I'll call it total sales. Total sales, right? Total sales. Of course, I'll format it to look good. All right. Total sales. All right. Shape format. I don't want that background. Right. I'm good with the black color. Right. I can make it bold. Right. I don't want the outline color. Right. So we want to call it total sales. I want to call it total sales. I'm going to put it here. Total sales. Let me duplicate it. Control G, and I have another one here because we still need something here. Same thing, and then we can call this total profit. Right? Total profit. All right. All right. All right. So now to get the card visual, so it's not this is a card visual already. I'll just duplicate this, bring this here, right? Just watch me, right? So I think I need my formula bar here. I'm going to use my formula bar. And before I come back there, let's come back to this place, to our summary page. And then, because we will not be able to select from this particular, we will not be able to select from this particular pivot table. So I'll replicate the pivot table down here. So this equals to this. So I have the same figure here, same thing here. Just watch me. It's just because we do not have the card visual. So we are just finding an alternative based on the understanding of Excel that we know, right? And then this Control 1 to put the dollar sign, right? All right. No. Right. I'm gonna do the same thing here. All right. So don't forget they are the same thing, but I've created this because what I want to do, if I come to do it directly on this, it will not permit it, right? That's why I've created this. Nothing is changing. All right, so it doesn't confuse us. So I'll come here, I'll remove this, right? And I'll put, if you want to write function, you start with equals to, right? But then I am on this tab already. So I'll come to the formula bar and type equals to. You understand? So equals to, and I'll come to the data, to the data, right? To the summary page and select, this is profit. I'll select it and you can see, and I'll say enter, right? And it has picked it. If I expand this now, I'll see it. So it is there. You can see that it is there. So I have had my total sales here now. All right. So I can format it. And then give it the color that I want to give it. I want to give it white color. Yes, a white color. I don't need to make it bold. I'm good the way it is. Right. So this is my total sales. You can see that is my total sales, right? So that's how I will do my card visuals. Let me underline this, right? So that's my total sales. I'll do the same thing for this. Duplicate, right? I'll do the same thing for it. Let me underline this, right? So for this, same thing. I'll remove the total profit that is there, come to the formula bar and write equals to, then go to the summary, that is for profits, and say enter. It is there. All right. I'll come here and format it as I want. All right. And then adjust it so that it looks good. All right. So I can just come here to reduce all of this so that it doesn't take too much of space. I can come here to reduce it so that it maintain the same thing, and then come here to give this one more space. All right. Come here to give this more space. So this is my card visual, and I've made it interactive, right? Because of how I picked it. All right. So that is for the two card visuals. The next thing is to do my sales by category, right? Now, if I go to the summary page, this is this. Okay, firstly, I have year sum of profit by year. Profit by year. Yes, I have profit by year, and I'm going to use this. So I said the other time that we shouldn't pick. We have the option of picking our pivot table, pivot chart from this space, right? But then in one of the classes, I explained that we shouldn't pick from here because this place can limit the options that it will give us. So let's come under insert. We have charts here, so let's pick from here. If you pick, if you click recommended chart, it will recommend a chart for us. But then I actually want to use column chart for this, right? That is what I have decided to use, right? But I think I'm still going to postpone a class where I'll tell you, while I explain how to pick a chart, right? I'm still going to create a separate class for that. Maybe when we go to Power BI class. But then this is what I want to use for this analysis. So this is my column chart. So I'm just going to select the column chart, right? I'll select the column chart and I have the column chart in there, right? I'll cut it. I'll cut it and take it to my to my to my to the place I've provided for it, right? I actually designed this area for it. So this is for column chart. I'll make it fit in, right? Make it fit in like this. Right. I obviously don't need this. I'll hide this area. I don't need this. I'll hide this area so that my chart can be bigger. I don't need the legend, right? I'm coming. Am I saying the profit, sum of profit by year, right? Okay. I'll hide this, right? I don't want this legend, so I'll delete this legend, right? So if I come to this format, I can take this grid line away. I don't want this chart title. I'll create the one that I need by myself, right? So I can come in here and then do format series to go and adjust the gap in the chart, right? I'm adjusting the gap so that it will be bigger, right? Let me just put it to 50%. And let's type it on 50%. All right. All right. All right. Okay, so I think I'm good with this. So I can come here to format it, right? I can come here to format it and then take this away. And then what that means is that I will have to change that color. But before then, let me take the outline away. Right, the outline is gone as well. So I have to change this color and then still on format and color is somewhere here. So I can come here to pick a solid color, right? And it's giving me white. So I think I'm okay with the white, right? I'm okay with the white. I can give it the shadow so that it comes out bold, right? This shadow will be fine. All right. That's if I want to use that color. No, I'm gonna change that color. I'm gonna change it. I don't want the white. Let me use this blue. No, I don't want that blue. Okay, let me leave it with this. And also here, I can work on the font over there and change the font color to white. Right, font color to white. I think that's the only thing I want to change at that point. Yeah, and the same thing here. Font color to white. All right, so I think I am good at this point, right? So the next thing is to work on the next question that is talking about what's the next thing over there? That is subcategory by subcategory subcategory by sum of sales, right? And I remember I left these spaces here because I actually want to use. I decide to use a a funnel chart, right? Because funnel chart is good at describing sales activities. You understand? And then this chart is going to be talking about sales, and it can capture something big, right? You can say that we have so many columns and so many rows. So sales funnel chart. I mean, funnel chart is perfect. But if I come here to say I want to select a funnel chart, right? If I come to insert, right, and tell it to recommend a chart for me, it's not even giving me a funnel chart. If I come again to say I will pick it from here, it will tell me that I can't use it, right? This is because of my experience with Excel. So, which means that usually what causes it is because when you are using a pivot table, I mean, you create your summary from a pivot table. It is to have Excel have that limitation. Sometimes it's possible you try your own and it works, but in so many cases that I've seen, it doesn't work. So I will try not to make it look like I'm using the pivot table. You understand? So I'll use the pivot table to get the analysis already. So I'll just come here and say, okay, I'll come here and just say, uh, this is equals to this. You can see that it is still the same thing and say enter. So it has repeated what I have here. It has repeated it there, right? So and of course I will come here to say this is equals to this, right? And then for this one, I hope you are getting me. This nothing is I'm not repeating anything. I don't want to use this pivot table, right? Because it's not going to make me access the chart that I want to use. So I now repeat what I have here on a separate on the Excel sheet. You know, this area is not pivot table. This is the pivot table. This area is not a pivot table. So I'm going to bring it out of the pivot table into the normal Excel space. That's what I'm doing, right? So this, if I drag this down, right, it will give me all the guys, all the subcategories. So here, before dragging it down, I will come and change this place, right? I will change it and I will change it and just select this. Yes, I'll select this so that by the time I'm dragging it down, it will pick the next one and like that, right? So I still have it, and I'm going to drag it down, right? So of course I can change it. I can do my normal formatting on it, this, and put my dollar sign, right? Control 1 to do that, right? And put my dollar sign in here, right? And say okay, right? I hope you understand this. Let me give you a better space, right? All right, this is fine. And then of course, let me rename the heading. This is subcategory, and this is sum of sales, right? Or let's call it total sales. Let's call it sales. Let's call it sales. All right. Okay. We can leave this way. So With this now, if I go there to say that I want to pick my chart, if I tell it to recommend a chart for me, you can see that I have so many. This is it's recommending multiple charts already. And this is my sales funnel chart here. It's already recommending it for me. So I can pick it, right? You can see this is a funnel chart. So it has recommended it for me. I'll pick it and then I have it here. I'm going to cut it and bring it to my report, right? I'll bring it to my report. Now here on my report, I will adjust it to fit into the area that I want to put it, right? So usually I will format it, right? I don't want the, okay, I need the axis. I don't want the chart title, so let it go. I don't want the data label. I may actually want the data label, so let me leave it. Okay, I don't want the data label, right? So I let it go, right? What else? I'll just format it, right? The gap width. Let me see what I can set it to 0. The color, I pick solid color, right? And then I pick this color. Can't remember the color I picked for this first one. I think it's this, right? I don't want border, so I'm gonna say no line for the border, right? And then I can put the shadow as well. This shadow, right? And oh no, this does not look like what I want to. Okay, let me remove the background. Background, no fill. All right. All right. So I remove the background and I remove the lines also, right? So I can come here and then can come here, right click, and then what am I doing there? No line, yeah, no fill, solid line, no fill. All right. All right. So font and make it white. Okay. So okay. So I think I can leave this like that, right? Can leave this that way, and I can see what happened. So I still think I should format this. The gap width, let me increase it back so that we have the gap width. All right. Let's have the gap width. All right. So yes, I think I'm good to go with this like this. I can leave it that way. And then the next one is asking us to do yes, this is for year customer count by year, right? Customer count by year. And for this, I want to use the donut chart, right? We use pie chart and donut chart for analysis that do not have so many, parameters like this. You can see that this year are just how many line one, how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows. Unlike this that have multiple rows. So I can't use a pie chart or donut chart for this one. If I do, the fractions will be too much. But if you have small rows to deal with like this, the donut chart is always a good option. So I can come to insert and tell it to recommend a chart for me. Okay, it's not recommending a donut chart, but I can come to pie chart and pick a donut chart. This is my donut chart here. And say, okay, so I'll cut it and I'll take it straight to my report. And I'm going to paste it here, right? All right. All right, so I will let this go. I will hide this. I will need my legend, so I won't hide it, right? So I can leave it this way. I can let my heading go. I'll create another one later. Chart title should go, right? I'll create another one to all of them. Chart title is always important, so I'll still come back to put it how I want to put it, right? So I can also come here to remove the background, right? Shape fill, no fill, right? Line, no line, fine. And then maybe effects. Okay, not now. Let's do other things that are very important. So here I can come here to format that, and then so the donut hole size. Donut hole size, let me bring it to 50% so that our chart will be fat a bit. Yes, let me leave it to 50%. Every other one is okay, right? And then so the color, I want to use color that are very closer to what I want to do. So this particular one, I will change the color to something like if I use this color, how will it look like? And I will give it shadow. I want it to have a shadow. I'll give it this shadow. Let's see this shadow looks like. No, let me change the shadow. Let me give it this shadow. Yes, I'm good with this shadow. So this color, I'm okay with that color. For this, let me change this color to if I do this. Okay. Okay, I'm okay with this color. I'll still give it a shadow. I'm using this shadow, right? Or for this one, let me use this shadow so that it comes to the other side. Let me use this shadow. All right. Then for this, I think for this one, I'm good. I only need to work on the shadow, and I'm gonna pick this shadow. All right. And for this, I'm good. I only need to work on the shadow, and I'll pick this shadow. This shadow. All right. So I think I'm good. Uh, thank you. I'm good with that. I'm gonna stop that way. Okay, this I want the name to come out, so I'm gonna change the font to I'm using white and okay. All right, so I'm good with that. So the next thing is asking us. All right, so the next is talk about the states. All right, so the same issue that I have here, I'm gonna have it here also, right? This is a sum of sales by state. Okay, sales by state, and because it's talking about location state, that's the location region. So I want to use a map. That's a chart that I want to use. But the same reason that I explained when I wanted to use the funnel chart, right? I can't use that map because it will not see it. So I will, in my wisdom, right, I will come back here and call it out of the out of the I'll call it out away uh from the pivot table, right? So I have all of that, and then all right, so I'll do the same thing here, right? But for this, I will come back and change it to so that I can drag down. I'll pick it from here. It's still the same Alabama, but I'll pick it from here, and I'll say enter. Let me format it, this, and then Control 1 to put the dollar sign. All right, and I'll say okay, right? So here, so I can drag it down. All right, so that is the sales by map. So if I select it now, I want to go and use my map. So I can come here, look for map. This is map here. I can select this map and use this map, right? You can see I have map. So I can cut this and take it to the report. I want to have it here and paste, right? All right, so the next thing is just to format it. That's all. Right, this is my map. So let's bring my map here. All right, so I'll format it, remove the background. All right, I don't want this. Right, so I want legend so that it comes out. Let me still put the legend. Okay. I want the font to be written in white color. So font is white. I think there's still other things here that I want to, okay. Let's do data format. And then do you have anything to correct here? Map labels, best fit. Okay. Map area, automatic, only region with data. Okay. Automatic, so nothing much to do here. Do I want to give it a chart? Okay. All right. So if I want to take off the legend, I can take off the legend so that it gets bigger. And you can see for each area, I can see the performances in each area, right? In California, here is the value and all of that, right? So I'm done with that. I'm done with that. And I have two more. Top 5 customer profits. So I want to use a bar chart for that, right? Top 5 customer profit. I want to use a bar chart. So let me come to my profit and to my summary, and this is it here. So I'll just come to here, pick my bar charts, recommend a chart for me. So it's giving me a column chart. I want to use a bar chart. So I'll use this. Okay. I'll cut it. I'll bring it to my report and then paste it here. All right. I will hide this. Okay, I will check legend, data title, check it, this. All right, so I can come here to format the data series and then bring all of these, the gap to 50%. 50%. Okay, that's fine. And then right. All right, so I can come here to remove the background as usual. All right, and then change the color, the font to white, which is what we've been using. Same thing down here. All right, so even these are let's change the outline. Let's change the outline and do no outline, right? And this we can change the data format, right? And change the color of the chart. Let's pick solid color, and then we have this same color we've been using, right? I think this is the color we've been using, right? So we can give it shadow as well. Shadow, give it shadow. Yeah. So I think we can. So the grid line, I don't want grid line. Yes, grid line can go. All right, so we have this for that particular chart. And lastly, not the very last, actually, we have the sales by month, right? The sales by month. And here's the sales by month. And I want to use the line chart. Somebody's asked a question. You forgot to uncheck the grid line. Okay, thank you. I've done that. All right. So insert, sorry, recommend the chart. I want to use line chart for you, right? At this point, I want to use line chart, sales by month. Line chart is used to study the trends, right? Pattern. We use line either of line chart and area chart to study, to analyze the trend per time. It has to do with time analysis, time series analysis, and all of that, right? So this is talking about months, what is happening in months or in day. Usually, if it is year and it is not a long year, maybe like the other one, like the donut chart that we did, that there are just 4 years in it, so you don't need to use the line chart because it's too short. That's why the pie chart or donut chart is fit for that one. But if you're actually studying something within a long year, a long time, maybe 30 years, 50 years, and all of that, perfect chart to use is the line chart, right? And if it is a month, 1 year has 12 months. That's long already. You understand? And if you are studying in days, right? 1 day, I mean, there are 365 days in 1 year. That's long already. So we choose to use line chart, right? So I'm going to use the line chart in here, right? And I'm going to cut it. All right, select it and cut. All right, so I'll bring it to this place and I'll paste it. And of course, I will format it to the area that I want it to be. All right. All right. So I can still format that. My chart should have, no. I don't want that line. I'll take the line away. Okay, but my chart, I can't see my chart again. So let me change the color to the color we're using. All right. So I can come here to take the chart title away, take the green line away, take the legend away, and then hide this. All right, hide this as well. Repaint that to white. Right, and same as this. All right, so I can see what is happening. Right. What is okay? Let me remove my line. All right. So this is what I have at the end of the day. So this is my dashboard, right? This is how my dashboard looks like, right? This is how my dashboard looks like. And then so I have this area that I intend to put slicer, and I already explained to us how to get our slicers. So I'm going to put what should I put in the slicer right away? I'm going to okay, let's go to the slicer and have our category in slicer. So I told us how to access slicer, but let's come back to this page, right? And pick slicer. Slicer is under this slicer here, right? It's asking us why, what is happening? Let's come back here. All right, slicer. Somebody's saying something. The color of the font on the map. The color on the font on the map. No, we have actually taken the color away, right? So this particular one, okay. So let's put the solid. Okay. I'm not sure we can adjust that color unless unless we change that background to something different a bit so that it can show. All right, so if you want to do that, we come here and let's just pick a color that is not too far from what we want to do so that it will show. Let's see if we do this color. All right, this is just you can see the what we have there is not, it's just labeling, Microsoft that is giving us the access to the chat. So I'll go back to take it away. I don't think that's very important at the moment. All right, so I'm gonna take that away. All right. All right, so back to our slicer. So our slicer is here. Okay. All right, so to use the slicer, of course, obviously we need to select one of the cells. So what I want to put on the slicer, I want to have the category on the slicer. I want to have the years on the slicer so that I make it interactive. Year, year, yes. And I want to have the month on the slicer as well, right? Three things that I want to put on the slicer, right? And I have them here, so I'll cut them. I'll cut the first one, take it to the report, right? Paste, right? So year, this is the year, right? Of course, I will adjust it to how I want it to be, right? So that's for the year. I have the month, I have the category. I'll come back again here and paste. So there are three categories, obviously. I'm placing them here. Okay. All right. And I have the last one, which is the month. I'm coming to place it here. So this look longer than our line, right? So I can just I can reduce it here, so that if we need to do anything, we just scroll. You can always scroll to get what we want to get, right? And I think that is fine. At the same time, if I don't want to do it that way, I can come to the slicer setting and make it be in two columns, right? But then obviously it won't be showing, it's not showing all the the text in detail. So I'll return it to one column, right? And maintain it that way. All right. So this is let's do some finishing touch. I intend to bring a logo here. So let me just look for a logo, right? Place over the cell from this device, right? To take me to my system, then I'm gonna pick a logo. Um, so I'm gonna pick. I want to pick this logo, right? Where's my logo? All right, somebody is saying something. The slicer background remain the same, right? You can always no, you can always check, you can always change the background of the slicer, right? If you come to slicer, right? If you come here, you can work on the background. You can come here to pick other options that are available, right? So you can pick other options here. And if you want to put your own, you want to customize your own background, come to new slicer file and go and customize it, all right? So you can try it. If you have difficulty, please call my attention so that we look at it again. All right. Once again, I was trying to bring in a logo, right, and it didn't drop. So let me do that again. I can't find it. Okay, is there? Oh, I think this logo is actually very big, so I'm gonna reduce it. And also, when reducing your logo, don't reduce from this side. Always reduce from here, right? So that the resizing it will be uniform, right? So I'm just gonna place it there, right? It looks like it's not fitting in well. So what will I do? Just maintain it that way. All right. So I can leave it that way, right? And I can even also come here to bring an icon because this is talking about sales and profit analysis. I can use an icon to demonstrate sales and profits. And if I come this way, I'll have access to an icon. Yeah, icon. I can write sales, and it's going to filter icons that look like sales for me. Okay, let me use this. So I have it here. Of course, I'll resize it. And I can change, I can format it as well. And I think I'm good like that. All right, so here is my own dashboard. I mean, my own portion. So, okay, so the last thing is to have the headers on them all. Duplicates. So this should be our profit by year, right? This should be profit by year. This is our profit by year. I think I want the white color. I can duplicate it and bring this here. This should be our customer count per year. Customer count per year. This is our customer count per year. All right, so I can duplicate that as well. Okay, for all of them, I can duplicate. Let me reduce this so that I have space. All right, so I can bring one here, and this is sales by category. Sales by category. All right, this is sales by location. can have my sales by location here. Sales by location, and then my top five customers, right? Top five customer per profit down here. Top five customers per profit. And finally, I can have my sales by month, right here. Sales by month. So this is how my dashboard look like, right? Finally, this is my own dashboard. You can see it is highly interactive. Okay, I have not connected, so I have to connect the slicer, and I explain how to connect it. Come to slicer, report connection, and connect all of them. Say okay, right? The next one, come to connection, report connection, and connect them all. Connect all of them and say okay. So they will all be connected. All. Let's check this again. Report connection. You should connect all. Okay. And the last one. All right. So connecting them means that we have made it interactive. So we need to look at what is happening to, the performances of the categories For example, we have three categories, in the sales. We have three sales categories. If I need to analyze or to report on the furniture category, once I check it, you'll see that everything has, all the report has changed to what fits for the category, for the furniture category. In fact, you can see the total sales made on category. So for furniture, total sales made on furniture. So for furniture, we made a total sales of $322,000, plus, and add a profit of 17,888, 17,888.67, right, for the furnitures, right, and even the the what do you call it? The profit customer count by year, the number of customers that we have, right? I think we still have the same number of customers, that we sell to, and all of that. So we'll use this one to begin to extend our report. If I want to move out of that category, I will just come and cancel this slicer, right? And I can look at performance in 2003. If I'm concerned about what we did in 2023, I will just check it like that. And I can see that in 2023, all our total sales is 309 naira, thousand naira, dollars rather. And the total profit is 81,000 $796 and all of that. I can see for 2021 alone, profit by year, right? Only for 2023 alone, rather. I can see the sales category and the performances. Of course, if I hover my mouse on them, I'm going to see the figures, right? And I can see the locations that we sold into, right? If I hover my mouse on them, I'll see the description of this location. If I need to see for 2021, I just come straight to select 2021 and everything changed to 2021, right? And I can see the figures and I can cancel like that, right? This is what we mean by an interactive dashboard or using the Excel to design it, right? And it looks so beautiful, right? That we can use Excel to design our dashboard. Right. So this is exactly what the task that we give to go and do. Right. And I've done it in form of the correction in the class. And then we watch the video and ensure that we retailor our own if we think that what we have not done is does not meet up to standard. I mean does not look good enough because everything about dashboard is about good design, nothing more, right? It's about designing something that can be appealing, that can be appealing to the eye, right? That people want to look at and are willing, to hold, to stay with, not a design that you present and they're already saying what's the meaning of all of these things. I don't want to see them again, right? So if you think what you have designed wouldn't are not looking too well, right? I think we can actually go back and go and redesign them and make sure that we align our colors very well, right? So this is this is the task that we were given to do. And like I said, that we should keep this particular task. We'll use it to build our portfolio when we get to building our portfolio, and it can help us to begin to get uh, to present ourselves as a data analyst. We need to switch career and all of that. All right, thank you very much. So that is that for that, right? My battery is low, but then we can still move on. So last on Thursday we started SQL, right? And then we try to download for ourselves. So we have downloaded for 3-4 more persons today, and at the same time, one person said he has it already, but there are more people who do not have it. I don't know. Please, if there is a way you want me to come in during the week so that we can quickly fix that, right? Please let us do that because by the time we start, it will not be easy to begin to catch up with us, right? So that's why I am not really going to continue that SQL today, right? So that I can be sure that a good number of us have installed it, right? I know I installed for 3 people in church today. Somebody has it already. That's about 4 out of about 12, 13, 14 people in the class. So it's quite low. And because it has to do with querying a database, and that is writing what looks like a language, a programming language, something like that. It means that we all need to start from a page and be on the same page throughout so that we don't leave anybody behind. All right. So that's why I'm intentionally delaying the time. And of course, delaying the time it will not be good for us on the timeline we have set for ourselves to finish. But I still think that I should make sure that a good number of people are connected. So that is done. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to move to the last thing that we're trying to do in Excel that we didn't actually do. I think in the last class also, I explained how we can use the Power Query editor to clean our data. So finally, in the Excel class today, today is going to mark the end of our Excel class, right? And finally, the last thing that I'm going to touch on is what we call the Power Pivot. We were trying to do it the other time. It didn't come up, so I had to leave it. But if you look at the screen, if you look at my screen already, right, you can see that I have my Power Pivot as part of the tab, right? And I'm quickly going to show us how to bring the Power Pivot to your tab, right? I hope our attention is there, right? Because we're going to quickly use the rest of the time to explain the Power Pivot. Now, the Power Pivot is the functionalities in Excel that we use to establish relationship between tables. Now, if you look at this data set we are working with so far, right? This is just a single, this is just one table. This is a sales table, right? This is just one table. This is one table. But I'm going to quickly open another data set, right? So that I can show us another kind of table, how tables can look like, right? Please give me a few seconds to quickly open that. Data sample and then Power BI. All right, it's loading. All right. Wow. So I've been the only one talking. So I think I want to hear people's voice. So please, if you can see my screen, say you can see my screen. Let me just be sure that.
You're doing well, sir. You're doing well. You're doing well.
Can see your screen now.
Thank you, sir.
Now look at it. Look at this particular data set that I have on my screen now. The one we're working with is just one table. Now look at this one. This is a table, right? If you look at this place, you see that we have other data. So it means that there are some other tables in just one data set. If I come to this sheet now, you see that we have some other tables. You can see. So it means that all in all, right? All in all, we have this data, which is table 1. We have this is table 2, this is table 3, this is table 4. So in one data set, we have 4 tables, right? Now, if you want to analyze this data now, or you want to take it to the pivot table, they will not be able to interact with each other if we didn't establish a relationship between them. And then, of course, how do you know that the table is not one again? For example, let me come back to this table. Look at this particular table now. Look at the column: sales, geographical location, product, date, amount, customer, and box. These are the columns on this table. If I come here at any time and I do this, I insert a new column here. Can you see that there is nothing here again? Or let me do it this way. Undo. If I just copy these two, I copy, and I come to this place, I place it here. Control P. Can you see? Now, look at this particular table. If you look at this is a table. Don't mind the formatting, right? The conditional format, the color on it. Don't mind it, right? I can as well take the color away and it will look like this, right? Now, if you look at this table and this table, right? The way Excel see table, these two tables are not the same thing. This is one table, this is another table. Why? Because between this table and this table, there is an empty column. So Excel will look at the progression, the connection of those columns, and anywhere is found a break, right? Every other table that you see after it will be seen as another table. But if I come here and I delete this, you can see that they are all together again. So Excel will not see this one as a separate table now. It will see this one as one table. So one table, all this one from here to this place and down is just one table. So Excel look at where there is a break, to separate the tables that are available. So that is why let me take this away now. I just use it to explain. All right. So this is the table we have. That is why you will see that here he's seeing this as a table, and because we have break in between, this one becomes another table. We have break. This become another table. If I had come here to do something like this, maybe I just delete this. For example, I delete all of this. For example, everything you are seeing here now is one table because they are connected together. But once there is a break like that, so the tables are different. So when you are dealing with the data, we are working with data sets that have several tables like that. How do you use them? If I say I want to go to the pivot table, I just want to take all of this to the pivot table, and I just come here and I say pivot table. You can see, okay, and I do pivot table. If I say let's say I go to new sheet and I do that, you will see that what I will be having will just be the columns particular on this particular table. Right? What of these others? How do we get them? How do we get access to them? But it is still one data set. It is just that we have several tables in it. You understand? So if I just do pivot table with this, I will not be able to access the columns of the other table. So which means that before I will take I will I will I'm trying to delete this, right? So which means that before I will take this data set into the pivot table, I will first of all establish relationship between all the tables so that Excel can see that all these tables they are just different, but it is one data set, and I can have all the columns. I can have all the columns in the pivot table that I'm going to create for it. And how do I cause the relationship? The Excel tool that is used to establish that relationship is what called the power pivot. Do you understand that? So we have the power pivot to do that. And on your own tab at the moment, the power pivot is not there, right? How do we bring the power pivot out, right? You see my direction, go to the file, and then you will see options where you can do all that things, right, in your Excel, right? So that power pivot is coming into Excel as an add-on, an add-in, right? It's coming to Excel as an add-in. So when you come to the options tab, the options dialog box, just look for add-ins, right? Which is here. Select the add-in, right? Select the add-in. Is it selected? All right. Select the add-in, right? And then these are some of the available add-ins, right? All right. So after that, just come straight to this area that I am. Can you see manage? This manage button. Can you see Excel add-ins here? You can see it there. We see pick those options and come and change it to com add-ins. You understand? Com add-ins. So select com add-ins, right? After you have selected com add-ins, right? After you have selected com add-ins, just come here to say go. Just come here to say go, right? It will bring a new dialog box for you, and as part of the dialog box, you will see power pivot there. Please, I want every one of us to do it now because you are not likely to. You don't have power pivot on your tab at the moment, right? So let us bring it on there. Let us bring it on, right? So you will see a new dialog box that will come up. So you will just check the power pivot, Microsoft Power Map for Excel. Sorry, Microsoft Power Pivot for Excel, right? Microsoft Power Pivot for Excel, right? You can check Power Map also with it anyway, but then it's not very compulsory now, right? Once you have done that, just come here to say OK, right? And you will see your Power Pivot on the tab. Please, let's all quickly do that. And let's see who is having issue with that.
Can,
Are we doing
can you
it?
please run through it again? Can you please? Yes, we are trying to do it. Can you run through it again?
All right, thank you, sir. So come to
Options, add-ins.
yes, come to file, come to options, right? Come to add-ins, right? Then when you get to add-ins, see this manage and come there, select comps add-in. It is in Excel add-in, but come and change it to comps add-in, right? And say go. Then you will see these options. In your own, it will not be checked like this because you don't have it, right? So check it. You will see Microsoft Power Pivot there. Check it and do OK.